Hello, I'm Chris Irwin. Welcome to this video series with the articles in Bitmagazine on starting the young horse. It's a pleasure to be here in the Netherlands. Before we bring out the horse, I'd like to talk about a few of the bigger picture concepts first. The first thing I like to keep in mind in working with horses is to really come to the horse not so much asking them to work for us, but to make sure they understand we're genuinely there to help them. I like to say that as ask not what your horse can do for you, but what can you do for your horse. I find it very important that the horse needs to realize that we are genuinely trying to help it be better in how it works with us in what is a very crazy, distracted world. Next concept is that with the horses, their behavior and their performance ability is directly related to the frame of their body. Quite literally, the frame of body of the horse equals the frame of mind. If we take a look at this dressage whip and you visualize it as the horse's body, and here's the tail and here's the nose, this would be a level-headed horse. When the horse is level-headed, its spinal column is more or less in neutral. But when the horse hollows its back and goes up like this, in nature that's fight or flight. And what's happening is adrenaline is being produced through the spinal column, and the physiology is stressing the mind of the horse. And horse trainers know if we can get the horse long and low as a physical stretch, that they often calm down. Well, that's because the stretching spine, and even better, the stretching and bending spine, creates an endorphin flow. Now, how all this relates to horse training is our body language, both on the ground and in the saddle. Our body affects the shape of the horse's body, and the shape of the horse's body affects its physiology, and its physiology affects its behavior. So when you add all this up, quite literally, the human's body shapes the horse's body into shapes that can feel good or not feel good. So it's quite true that your horse's behavior is very often a reflection of how you're using your body. The next concept, it's kind of psychological, it's very esoteric, but it's also quite practical. We can't realistically control the horses. They're bigger than us, they're stronger than us, they're faster than us, and they're more primal in their behavior than us. But what we can do is we can control how we respond to them. You know, it's interesting that there's only two sports in the Olympics where men and women compete against each other. One of them is equestrian, one is sailing. Sailors can't control the wind or the waves. And being a great big man with big muscles doesn't control the wind or the waves any more than it can control a horse. We have to evolve out of trying to use force to control the horse and instead use empathy and awareness and accountability for how we respond to the horse. All of the horse training techniques that we're going to look at through this series, first and foremost, involves self-awareness for how I respond to the horse. Because it's only natural that the horse challenge us. If we're going to talk about natural horsemanship, then be prepared for a prey animal to challenge you trying to control it. The real question then becomes, how do you respond when the horses challenge you? When a horse likes how you respond, when a horse says, how you respond with your body makes my body feel good, then they give themselves to you. The next concept, we don't really tell horses where to go. We have to learn to control our responses so that we're clearly telling the horse where not to go. Now that sounds a little esoteric, but visualize a river. In nature, the river flows forward. Think of the horse moving forward like a river. And our job as the horse trainer or the leader of the horse is to channel its movement with boundaries. Nothing is grabbing or pulling or kicking the river. The river banks control the river. So we have to be able to control the horse with our boundaries of where not to go. Stay between the boundaries of the legs. Stay between the boundaries of the reins. So you can sum that up as you don't tell the horse where to go, you tell the horse where not to go. Now, as we're aware of these principles, then what comes next is, well, how are you literally using your body, both on the ground and in the saddle, so that your responses when the horses challenge you help the horse feel better? To do that, we need to look at the concepts of pushing, blocking, and drawing. There are three energies that come from our bodies. One is to push. I am pushing into the camera. It's impulsive. It's to herd the prey animal. Another energy is to draw back. It's like opening a gate and inviting the horse to come in. The third energy is the block. It's like the traffic police. Stop. Come. Go. Those are the only three energies. But the problem is we have to choreograph them. They're all three there all the time. And when we get our energies mixed up, it stresses the body of the horse. When we stress the body, it stresses the mind. So you can sum up this whole introduction with this. If you come to the horse to show it, you have empathy and accountability and awareness in how you respond to its challenges. And you do so by being very aware of how you organize your pushing, blocking, and drawing. And you're never telling the horse where to go. You're only telling the horse where not to go. When you do all that, the body relaxes and the mind relaxes, and the horse will give itself to you. It sees you as a shepherd helping it move better. So yes, we need to be micromanaging control freaks, but your horse needs to know that your control agenda is genuinely for its well-being, and it can tell that without words. This has all been words. But what we'll look at next is how do these psychological and esoteric concepts be communicated through body language, be communicated through push, block, and draw. So that's it for the opening. Let's move on now to the practical steps of how you use push, block, and draw to create a comfortable frame of body so your horse knows you're there to help it be the best that it can be. Thanks, and welcome to the series. Have a nice day.